and tell us where you are joining us from. Go to the chat room. Go to the chat room, tell us your name and where you're joining us from. We have a lot of boys joining us from different parts of the world. We want to say welcome. Go to the chat room, tell us your name and tell us where you are joining us from. Boys in Tech Symposium. Boys in Tech Symposium is a great meeting, and this is the first of its kind that we are having. That Boys in Tech. Go to the chat room. Please open the chat room. Go to the chat room and let us know where you're. Sorry, we open the chat room right away. Tell us where you're joining us from. Tell us your name and where you are joining us from. All right. All right. Yes, I think the chat room is open now. Yes, we can join. We can tell me your name and where you're joining us from. Yes, the chat room is open now. Yes, tell us where you're joining. Yes, I can see people joining from different parts of the world. I can see Mbele David from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you. I can see Favor from Lagos, Chibike from Owerri. Lagos people are a lot here. David from Abuja. Zika from Nigeria. We are in Nigeria. Gamelia from Lagos. A lot of people joining from Rivers State. We have Victor from Port Harcourt, Joseph. Everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome from Kwara. Abdul Malik from Kwara. We have Toby Loba and Timileyan from the UK. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Chimere from the UK. Dave Staff from Tomberson from China. And from Ilorin, we'll have people joining us. Welcome everyone, welcome everywhere. One for Laura and me from Toluwani from Abuja. We want to say welcome. We want to say welcome, David from Ibadan, and everyone joining. Welcome, 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 welcome. So great to have you here, Mazino from Lagos. Everyone joining. We have the Zoom meeting is almost full. And for those joining us on YouTube, we want to also say you are welcome. We are welcome, and we are glad to have you all here. We are glad to have you all here to this first meeting called Boys in Tech Symposium. And I want to briefly tell you what this program is all about. We can now close the chat room. What is this program all about? Boys in Tech Symposium. We know a lot of boys who are passionate about technology, about going into the field of technology, about doing something in the IT, and a lot of them are asking questions. How do I go about this? How can I be effective about this? How can I do this diligently? How can I be the best in this? And a lot of them are wondering what to do. Some boys think, oh, being in IT is just doing gaming. If you can't do gaming, you're not in IT. Some even wonder, oh, if I don't read computer science, can't I be in IT? Some of them are very passionate and they keep asking questions. What can I do? Some boys even think going into the IT is about doing fraud or just getting money to steal money somewhere or to crack a code. But we want to let you know that there are different opportunities for us in the IT. And for us to thrive and be the best in it, we must be the best in our field. We must have knowledge of what to do. We must build capacity. We must follow the right procedure. We must learn the right lessons and do the right thing. And that is the essence of being in IT. All right, so we need to go with the right knowledge, with the right mindset. And that's how I have hundreds of boys gathered from different parts of the world coming to learn. What can we do? How can we thrive in this area? How can we be the best in this area? And that's why we are here today. I will have a special guest in our midst this evening. Some of us are already familiar with him. He has been a great hand in at Save the Boys initiative, doing a lot of work with us. All right, and there is Desmond Praise Macaulay. He's a tech and media consultant. He did a lot of work in the tech field, transforming life and making great change. And he's also passionate about young people. And he's going to be sharing with us this evening from his wealth of experience, sharing things we need to know about technology, the opportunities, what we need to do. And a lot of us will have questions upon questions upon questions to ask Mr. Desmond this evening. Tomorrow, TJ Chunu will be joining us, and it's going to be another great time together. So I want you to pay attention, just stay quiet, listen to this short lecture, and then we'll take your questions. All right. So please, let's appreciate Mr. Desmond as he comes up to take his session. Admin, please spotlight him, and let's give him the permission to speak and also share his slide. Thank you, Mr. Desmond.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Welcome. Can you also share your slide from there? Just confirm you have the liberty to do that.
Let me do this. Oh yes.
Okay, thank you. Please, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I hope we can all hear me. So I'm just
yes, we can.
I'm just going.
We turned off the chat room so that we'll not be distracted. All right, when we need us to open it up, just let us know.
Okay, sir. Okay, so I'll just go straight to the point so that we don't waste a whole lot of time. My name is Desmond. Like Coach Ebuka introduced me earlier. I studied computer science, and I've been in the IT world for a decade plus now. That's 10 years plus. And if you hope everyone is seeing the screen so that I don't have to emphasize.
Yes, we can see it. Yes.
So these are few of the things I do. So I have CCNA, CCMP, and GCMD. So I'm into media consultancy. I deal with programming, web development, app development, data science, and artificial intelligence, machine learning. I also do cybersecurity, network. I'm a network professional, video and graphics, and so on. So we are not going to dwell much on that. So I'll just go straight to the point. We all know why we are here today, and one thing I want us to do is to make sure we get our pen and notepads ready, because we are going to dive into so many things. You know, the focus is on technology. So I'm going to try my best to streamline and give us an overview, just like a crash course on what we need to know before going into the tech world. Or if you're already in the tech world, the right path you need to follow. So I'm going to start with the training objectives. I have few training objectives here. By the end of this training, I am hoping that everyone will know what technology is all about, know the various types of technologies, and do away with misconception on tech individuals, and know the requirements to becoming a successful tech professional. And okay, there's an error there. The last one should be what to start with and where to start from. You understand that? Because I'm sure so many of us have these questions. Where do I start from? How do I start? How do I go about this whole journey and all that? So that is what we are going to be dealing with today. Now, for the main reason why we are here today, what is technology? You know, this is a question that so many people have not been able to give us an in-depth explanation of what it is. So in this section today, I'm going to streamline. I am going to break what technology is all about. I'm going to try my best to break it down to a level where we all understand. Are you with me now? So now, let us go with the definition. Technology is the application of computer or scientific-based knowledge to our day-to-day activity and operation, with the intentions to make them easy and more convenient. Now, what is our emphasis there? With the intentions to make our day-to-day activities easy and very, very, very convenient. You know, I know so many of us are Gen Zs and all, but if you look back to like 20 years ago, or let me just say in the 18th or in the 15th, 16th, 17th century, there are a whole lot of things that we needed to do, but because of how time consuming, how expensive it is, most people weren't able to do all of that, especially communication. You know, those days, if you needed to communicate, you needed to write a letter, go to the post office and send your letter. And when you send your letter, you have to wait a while before you get a response or get reply from the person that you sent that letter to. But technology has helped us to narrow all of these things. And it is so amazing that now, with a snap of your finger, you can reach someone who is in US. With a snap of your finger, you can reach someone who is in China, who is in Canada, someone who is in Los Angeles, someone who is even in Australia, with the help of technology. So this technology has really, 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 really make things convenient for us. And that is why we are going to be looking into this technology today and understanding the concepts, understanding the dimensions, understanding everything that has to do with technology. I hope you are all following. Now, let us look at the examples of technologies. You know, we have numerous examples. We have numerous examples of technology. But what I will try to do is to narrow I've already talked about this. So I'm going to try my best to narrow the list to just 3. We have up to 50 different types of technology. We have a whole lot of them. So I'm just going to narrow it down to just 3 because of our time. So first things first, we are going to talk about artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is the stimulation of human intelligence by computer system and other machine aimed at performing high-level tasks that require human intelligence and are normally performed by human beings. Now, let me explain what it is. Now, artificial intelligence is a way of replacing what on a normal day you as a human being you are supposed to do. For instance, like we talked about the mailing system. Instead of you going as far as traveling far to send a message to someone, to drop a message to someone, what artificial intelligence does is helps us to carry out those tasks without our own involvement. What we just need to do is give a command. Once we give a command, that operation is carried out for us. That is what an artificial intelligence is. Now, examples of artificial intelligence that I'm going to take mention of, I'm sure we are familiar with the 3 examples that we have here, which is Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant. I'm sure we are. Now, if you are familiar with these 3 that I just mentioned, can you just wave your hands? Let me see you wave your hands. If you are familiar with, yes. If you are familiar with these 3 that I just mentioned, just wave your hands so I can see your screen. Oh, okay, wow, that's nice. Now, Alexa, Siri, and Google Assistant are examples of artificial intelligence. Now, you can sit at the comfort of your chair, and you will be like, "Hey Siri, play me this. Hey Alexa, what is the meaning of a noun?" And Alexa or Siri would be able to carry out that operation or carry out that command for you instead of you taking the stress to search it or look for it yourself. That is what artificial intelligence is all about. That is the wave that artificial intelligence is bringing. And now, not just to this, even to some of the technologies we are going to be discussing today, artificial intelligence has really taken over so many of those operations. Example, in the case of graphic design, we have so many graphics platforms that are handled by artificial intelligence. So it wouldn't need the involvement of humans to create or critically come up with ideas any longer, because artificial intelligence is helping us make these things as easy as possible. I hope we are all together. Hope we are all together. If you're understanding me, just wave your hands. Thank you. Now, secondly, we are going to be talking about information technology. Now, information technology is also known as IT. Now, it just involves the use of computer system, computer hardware, computer software. You know, you going into, you trying to access programs like Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, and all of that. They are all under the umbrella of information technology. You understand me now? So you see that you'll be able to differentiate between artificial intelligence, the technology of artificial intelligence, and the technology of information technology. Now, artificial intelligence is using, replacing humans' efforts to give us or help us in our day-to-day activity. Why information technology involves the use of a computer, you know, the involvement of you going to your system, going to Google Classroom to access your assignment, your assessment, and all of that. That is what information technology is all about. And the examples, like I said, is Microsoft, PowerPoint, Excel, and the likes. Even Google Classroom is also under the umbrella of the types of technology that we have. Now, moving forward, thirdly, you know, I said we are going to be talking about three main technology. We have a whole lot of them. We have the SpaceX, we have so many of them, but we are just going to be talking about we are going to be laying emphasis on these three. The first I spoke about is artificial intelligence. The second, information technology. And now, the third is going to be entertainment technology. Now, entertainment technology aims at providing better entertainment experiences to users through the use of science and technology. It caters to different areas of entertainment industry, such as television, gaming, advertisement, streaming, and animation. Now, this is self-explanatory. I'm sure so many of us use this entertainment technology. For instance, so many of us, a whole lot of us here do gaming. A whole lot of us here watch televisions. We watch animations and all. Someone is raising. You have a question? Don't worry. Okay. So gaming is an example of an entertainment technology. Advertisement is an example of an entertainment technology, and a whole lot of even virtual reality, automation, stimulations, and augmented reality. All of these are all under the entertainment technology. Now, how many of us know what a virtual reality is? We all know what a virtual reality is. Wave your hands if you know what a virtual reality is. Beautiful, beautiful. Now there's a virtual reality, beautiful. There's the virtual reality, there's the augmented reality. All of that are all forms of technology under the entertainment type. We are all following it, yes? So now we are going to talk about the misconceptions of being a tech guy or a techie inclined person. Now, let me explain what a techie. A techie is someone who is an expert or enthusiastic about technology, especially computing. Techie is someone who is an expert in or enthusiastic about technology, especially computing. So I'm going to be making reference to tech guy or techie. I just want you to understand that it's all streamlined to someone who knows how to use a computer who is experienced with technology. Now, that is what a techie or a tech guy is. Now, we are going to be discussing, I'm going to be telling you about the misconceptions of being a tech guy. Now, what is the meaning of misconception? Now, the wrong ideas, the wrong notion, the wrong perception of being a tech guy. Now, one of it is you must be a genius. You know, I'm sure so many of us used to hear that before you can be a technology expert, you must be a genius, you must be very, very smart, you must have all A's in your exams, in your assessment, and all of that. All of these are not true. Everyone who is seated here today can be a technology or a tech professional. As time goes on, I'm going to give you an example. I'm just going to share a bit a throwback story of how I entered the tech industry and all that. But you must not be a genius before you go into or before you begin a career in the tech industry. You mustn't be a genius. So all these misconceptions about you must be a genius, you must be talented, you must be very smart, you must have all A's. It is all wrong. It is all wrong. Secondly, the second misconception is you must be very good at mathematics. That is not true. That is not true. Anybody that tells you that you must be very good at mathematics before you would be a computer genius, that person doesn't have information. If he or she is informed, he will not give you that wrong notion. So remember the first thing I said, you must not be a genius. Secondly, you must not be a mathematician. You must not be good at math. No, now, I don't want you to get me wrong. I don't want you to get me wrong. It doesn't mean, I'm not saying this to connote the fact that you shouldn't study maths. No, maths is very, very, very important. Now, you would even need maths in your day-to-day activity. You understand? So maths is very, very important. But maths is not a benchmark or a restricting factor to know how to have an idea about technology. Maths is not. You understand? Are we getting me? Is anyone confused? Is anyone lost? I want to make sure everyone is following. I want to make sure everyone is. Now, if you're understanding what I'm saying, just give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up. If you're understanding what I'm saying, just give me a thumbs up. If you're understanding what I'm saying, just give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, that's nice. So firstly, you must not be a genius. Secondly, you must not be a mathematician. Now, thirdly, the misconceptions people used to say is you must study computer science. Some people used to say, if you don't study computer science, you can't survive in the tech industry. That is not true. Now, I know of people who studied literature. I know people who studied human I have friends who even studied biology, but after school, they became tech professionals. So your field of study is not to being the background, or your field of study is not a limiting factor to being a tech guy. Hope you understand. Hope you all understand. If you understand me, I just want you to give me a wave. If you understand, just give me a wave. If you're following, just give me a wave. If you understand what I'm saying, just give me a wave. Okay. Now, the next is you must know everything about computers. This is another wrong notion. This is another misconception. Now, even as I have been in the mode, everything about computer. I don't know I always need someone who is good at a particular area to help me out if I have a project I'm working on. So before you get into the tech industry, don't have it in mind that you must know everything about computer science, or you must know everything about computers, or you must know everything about tech. Just all you need to know, all you need is the proper guidelines and specialize in the area that you have strength in. Do we all understand? So for you to be a tech guy, you mustn't know everything about computer. It is not compulsory. Just get the proper guidelines, get the proper tutor, and specialize in a particular area and develop yourself in that area. You understand now? So the next is, the misconception we always get is you will end up being a cyber bully or cyber thief. That is not true. That is not true. I'm using myself as an example. I've been in the tech industry for a while. I will not say that I have been bullying anybody online. Now, cyber bully means you go online and you're insulting maybe someone is chubby, you are saying, look at you, you are fat, you are too slim, you are too dark, and all of that on the internet. That is hacking a platform and trying to steal from that platform. That is what a cyber thief is. A cyber thief is someone who goes online with the intention of stealing from people, using the platforms to hack into their data or hack into their accounts and retrieve, have access to their finances and all. That is what a cyber thief is. Or you go into someone's page and you save their picture without letting them know, or without copyright, in short, without letting them know. That is cyber thief. Because for you to go into what's it called, into a social platform, taking someone's image without acknowledging the person or attributing the person, that is cyber thief. That is cyber stealing. So we have this misconception that if you're going into technology, you just want to be a cyber thief and all that. It is not true. It is not true. You can be in the cyber world and not be a cyber bully and not be a cyber thief. Are we all following? Now, another question is, what do I need to be a tech guy? What do I need to be techie? What do I need to be very, very good with technology. I just streamline them into 4. Passion, focus, a curious mind, determination, and humility. Now, when I say passion, for the fact that all of you are present in this Zoom meeting, it shows that you are passionate. It shows that you are passionate to want to know more about technology. And that is the first step. You have just checkmate the first step of becoming a tech guy or becoming technologically inclined. First thing is having passion. Secondly, be focused. Don't be distracted. Cut every form of distraction. Cut every form of a divided mindset. Cut them off. If you must learn a particular program or learn a particular language, you must be focused. Now, you need focus to be able to understand the rudiments, to be able to understand the syntactics of technology. Now, as I am teaching, please, if you have questions, just get a notepad and write them down. Once I am done, I'll give us the room to ask our questions because we are out of time. So I'm trying to be very, very snappy. Now, thirdly, curiosity, the willingness to want to learn. The willingness to want to learn. The enthusiasm to want to know more about technology. That is the third requirement. That is just the requirement. Not having to be a mathematician, not having to know everything about computer, not having to specialize in computer science. No, just have passion, focus, and a curious mind that wants to learn, an inquisitive mind that wants to learn. Now, fourthly, determination. Now, you will need determination. Why do I say so? You will get to a crossroad, or you will get to a time where you will be discouraged. So you just want to give up. You are tired. In short, you are no longer interested because you feel like it is very, very hard. You are feeling like it is very, very hard. So you just want to give up. So I want you to have that have a determined mind. Just be determined, regardless of how difficult it will seem like. Just have a determined mind that you will continue. Now, lastly, be humble. Humility in the sense that if you get to a point where you do not know what to do, always ask questions. Try to reach out to your mentors. Try to reach out to people who you know are ahead of you. Ask them questions. Let them tell you their experiences or give you advice that would help you become better. Are we all following? Are we all following? Now, as a tech guy or as someone who wants to be relevant in the tech industry, ensure to make Google and YouTube your best friend. Now, what do I mean by make Google and YouTube your best friend? Always search on Google. Always search on YouTube. Instead of going to YouTube and just watching cartoons, watching SpongeBob, watching Harry Danger, instead of just going to YouTube and just watching all manner of cartoons, go to YouTube and ask questions. How can I do this? 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 YouTube has millions and billions of resources. So you can never run dry of resources. YouTube always have an answer. YouTube always has an answer. like as Christians, you know, we say God has the answers to all our problems. God has the answers to all our problems, all our challenges. So in the tech world, Google and YouTube has all the answers to our question. Hope you're all following. Hope you're all following.
Yes, powerfully well.
So just know that YouTube and Google has the answers to all our questions. Now, to the main and to I'm sure so many of us, this is what we are just waiting for. How do I learn a program or series of programs? How do I start? Where do I start from? So all of these things you're saying, how do I go about it? Now, the most important thing I would advise everyone in this room to do is try to have a mentor, a tech mentor that will direct you. Now, someone will say, sir, I thought you said we can go to Google or YouTube to ask every question and we'll have the answers. Yes, you can. But so that you don't waste your precious time, so that you don't go in circles and circles or go through or do Israelite journey before you get a particular answer, so that you don't take so much time trying to get the right resources. I would always advise that we get a mentor. Get a mentor, someone that would help you, guide you to the right things to do part-time, guide you to the right programs and the right things that you need to do. Now, what are the opportunities in the tech? We have, I'm even short of words, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of opportunity in the tech industry. As a tech person or as a tech guy, you can work in any parastatal. Now, when I say parastatal, I mean you can work in any organization. You can work in the bank, you can work in a school, you can work in the agriculture sector, you can work in the church, you can work
Sorry about that. It's network issue, but it's coming back up shortly. I believe we're having value for our time. In fact, I'm learning so much myself in this meeting. All right, I'm learning so much myself in this meeting. Like I'm hearing things I thought I knew. I didn't know. He'll be back and then we'll be rounding up and then we'll take questions. Well, I'm seeing things I didn't know. All right, I'm learning things I didn't even know, and I'm still hearing for the first time such an amazing conversation as a round up. So we might not be able to take questions. You unmuting you to talk. We prefer you send your questions in the chat. All right. So as is just before he rounds up, we are going to be opening the chat room. So you send in your questions, you're having your struggles or your question, then you'll be able to just look at the chat and answer them. We're also going to be sending him questions from those on YouTube. We'll have a number of people joining us on YouTube too, and we'll be able to take those questions from them too. All right. So let me know, admin, is it back? Let me know if he's back, and then we are going to continue from there. Let me know if he's back. All right. Once he comes back, we are going to continue from there. If you have questions, please just type them and get them ready. We are going to, put them together, and he's going to be answering. All right. So let's just open the chat room and let me know, what have you learned so far? What are you learning so far? Please let me open the chat room. What are you learning so far? So the chat room is open. Let me know what are you learning from here, and then begin to drop your questions before our facilitator comes in. Begin to drop your questions before he comes in. All right. All right. And let's drop your question. Thank you for your questions. He's coming back in soon. He's coming back in soon. He's coming. Drop your questions in the chat room, and he'll be coming in to join. He will be coming back to answer them. Also, let me know, what are you learning? What are you learning? Really, really a great time hearing about this, especially the opportunities that people have. Because some people just think tech is about being a Yahoo or doing something that you're not supposed to do. All right. And I like what you're saying. You don't need to be a genius, because some people think, if you're not a genius, you cannot be in the tech field. And for those ones that are not really very good in maths, are like, oh, since I don't know maths so well, I'm not a genius, I'm not the best in maths, maybe, so I can't be in tech. So we are learning that no matter the limitation, you can still thrive and be the best in tech and still thrive in tech. All right. But I like what he balanced it. I don't say that you should go and tell your mother now that, oh, they said I don't need to know maths, so I don't need maths again. No, he said you need maths for every day. Their life skills we are learning is very, very important. But there are some science related areas you must thrive with maths. But they are saying that even if you are not very good, it doesn't stop you from thriving or becoming the best in this. All right. All right. And so we must know that and begin to push and begin to press. All right. So let me see. I'm seeing people's comments. All right, asking a lot of questions, telling me what they've learned this evening from tech, boys in tech, and I'm happy we are learning about these boys in tech. Okay, please don't repeat your champion Moyo. I don't think you keep repeating the same thing in the chat room so that you don't flood the chat room. Okay, once you have posted once, I think that is enough. All right. And people are asking questions about the different type of. He's struggling to join because the chat room is full, but we have been able to create some space for him, and he's coming right in to join. Please let me know once he's in. All right. And those questions on technology, because some people are. Thank God, those people that feel that they are not genius, they are not seeing as an opportunity. There's an opportunity for you. There are opportunities for you. And I think that one of the things I want to share is those opportunities that we have. I said there are over 1,000 you can do in technology and you can try. And we are talking about this because it's a thriving area. There are different opportunities. In fact, in the world now, if you're a techie person, there's a lot of opportunity for you to do. There's so much you can do to thrive and make global impact. And it's important you begin to know this early and begin to plan and push to become that. All right, because the more we are able, Desmond, when you come in, please raise up your hand so that we can see you. Once you are in, just raise up your hand so that we can see you, Desmond. Once you're able to build what you know in that area, you can thrive. You can be the best in it. But a lot of them around the world doing amazing work, and that we must keep celebrating that. I guess it's in now. All right, thank you. You can pick it up from there as we round up. So take a lot of questions have come in already. I'm sure they will ask again because I'm sure you have just seen those that you are when you came in. So let's close the chat room again as we round up. That's why I can carry on. You didn't join with your audio? So you need to join with your audio, so you unmute yourself, your co-host, so you can start speaking. All right, so we are talking about tech and we're having these tech issues here. And that's why you are going to rise up to help solve these issues. All right, so that here in Nigeria, we'll not be having these network issues here, programs or meetings that they have to be interrupted. I'm sure you're having an idea. You can see that there are problems that are waiting for solutions. All right, yeah, those solutions. All right, yeah, that solution. Yeah, that solution that we, because there are different areas where there are opportunities, where there are problems to solve, and the world is looking for people who are techy. Because every problem now you can find a tech way to solve it. All right, there are different opportunities. So there are just a million and one opportunities out there. Actually, when you are techie, you understand what it means to use data, to use, in achieving, in bringing about solutions. I think that's where we should begin to think. And I like what he said about YouTube. Some boys, all they do in YouTube is games, movies, cartoons, animations. And he said, go and ask questions. Go and learn. In fact, that's what will tell you that most of the thing he learned was from YouTube. He asked, he learned how to do a lot. I've known him from YouTube, asking questions, watching videos of what others have done. And that has really, really helped him. So the same place where you're going to while away your time, the same place others are going there to learn, to equip themselves with knowledge to try. The same place where you're going to just have fun and waste time, others are going there to really empower themselves. The same place. So we must be intentional about that. Thank you, Desmond. I became a tech man by force. Now you can carry on. So you are muted.
Thank you, sir. I'm so sorry. The network has really been terrible. So the last thing I said was I want the chat room to be opened so that a number of people can type in the area they just want me to briefly talk on.
Okay, so many of them have sent so many things, but since you were not in, so you didn't see it. So for everybody that asks question, we're opening the chat room now. So as it rounds up, please send in your questions or area you need him to elaborate. So open the chat room. Please don't distract us. Don't post your question more than once so that others will have opportunities to also send theirs. So just send in your questions, now, and while he rounds up, please, you can go on.
Okay, so I want to let me just go through the questions, and I would what it goes to my, I have learned that we do not much become.
You want to finish your slide before you answer? You want to take the questions now?
Yeah, I'm done with the slide. So I wanted to have.
Okay.
So I just want to have, so that I know the what to focus on now. So now someone just asked. I have. Okay, I've learned that we do not need math to become a techie person, but we should still study maths. Yes, please. We still need to study maths. It is very, 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 very important. If you get to a level in education whereby maths no longer becomes a necessity, by then you can now stop studying, but it doesn't mean you should drop maths. But maths is not a requirement to become a tech guy. So math is not a requirement. How to learn animation? The thing is, someone just asks how to learn animation. You need the right softwares. You need the right softwares. What I would always advise is for you to learn animations. Don't just go straight into learning animations because you might really get confused. So I will always advise that you go through understanding the concept of videos, understand the concept of videos. Now, if you understand the concept of videos, animations might not become an issue. But either ways, you still need to have some certain programming background to be able to animate from scratch. Now, there are AI-enabled programs that can just allow you do animations, 1 or 2 animations and all that. But it is always good that you have a background in programming. You understand? So for this person that asks how to learn animation, please try and have a background in programming and some other understanding of videos, the technology around videos. Just try and understand. That's why I made mention about having a mentor, someone that will put you through, so that you don't get misguided. How to code a program? This question is not clear. Someone is asking how to code a program. It is not clear at all. The truth is, for you to become a programmer, you need to know what you want to do. Do you want to be a web developer? Do you want to be a data analyst? Do you want to be an app developer? Now, you need to be able to streamline this first. After you have streamlined this, we can now go ahead to advise you on the program you should learn. Now, if you want to be a web developer, we would always say learn JavaScript, learn C++, and the rest. That is if you want to be a web developer. But do you know what? Let me give a general advice. Now, if you want to go, for everybody who is going to ask questions about programming this evening, I want you to take this advice from me and leverage on it. If you want to be a programmer, if you want to be able to code, if you want to start with JavaScript, you would be confused. If you want to start with Java, you would be confused. So I'm going to advise everyone, learn Python. Python is the easiest language to learn. Now, with Python, you can do other things. From Python, you can get other platforms that would enable you develop web. From platforms, you can get other platforms that will, from Python, you can get other platforms that will enable you do data science. From Python, you can get other platforms that will enable you do web development, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics. But I would advise everybody who wants to go into coding, learn Python. It is very important that you learn Python. Python is one of the easiest language. Why I'm telling you to learn Python is so that you don't start a programming language, go to a certain length, and you're tired, you're discouraged because it looks very hard. Python is one of the easiest language. It's as easy as English language. It just tells you if you're doing print, bracket open, hyphens, it's just straight to the point. You understand? So for everybody who wants to learn how to code, for whatever reason you want to code, whatever you want to use coding for, learn Python first. So please, this should be an answer to everyone asking, making inquiries about coding and programming. What is the difference between all the virtual realities? Augmented realities. Let me start with augmented reality. Augmented reality is just like a game that enables you act as though you are present in that game. Now, let me make example of now. It enables you have the feeling of being in that particular space, not necessarily using a device on your face. When you use a device on your face, that one is what is it called again? Virtual reality. That's virtual reality. But augmented reality is the one that you use your phone and you are living as though you are present in the reality, what the phone is displaying. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So that's the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality. Augmented reality, apart from that, it's just on your phone. You try to act as though you are in that space. You understand? So it's a game. We can also liken it to being a game, like playing PS. For those who play PS, you are acting as though you are inside the PS, directing players on places to go, on what to do, to kick ball, to cross the ball, to help the ball, and all of that. That is augmented reality. But virtual reality is the one that you have to wear that device on your face, on your face, and act as though you are in that space. So that's the difference between that. I learned that you can be a tech. I really don't understand this question. Can the person try and
Okay, and
elaborate?
also have a lot of questions from YouTube. So can we take one or two? A lot of them are asking this gaming thing. How can I create a game that the whole world can use? A lot of people are asking this question of gaming, creating game app. How do I do that? All right, and let me just give you the second question so I can take two at once. And a lot of them are asking, so you say you must not read too much to do tech. I believe they need to understand. And somebody's asking, how can the tech person get famous? I don't think it's really, when you work very hard and do your work, I think the world will get to know you. But yes, it's an example. All right. And then, but the second question I want you to take, there are just too many questions to YouTube. Somebody's asking, when you talk about Python, is asking for beginners, how do they go to learn this Python you are talking about? So this question on how to create games, second question on how do we learn Python, and what are the leading skills required for this century in order to be in a tech guy that is really know what skills do you really need to learn? If you can emphasize on those ones.
So now I'm going to make emphasis on what skills do you need to learn to remain relevant in the tech world. The tech has different types. Finally, now the tech has different areas of sorry, I just got distracted. Let me try and figure it. Now the tech has different areas that you can leverage on. There is data science, there is graphics, there is programming, there is data analysis, there is artificial intelligence, there is machine learning. Now, what you should do is know what you have interest on. If you have interest on designing, decide, do you want to do graphics design? Do you want to do UI UX? Or what exactly? So my advice would be, know what you want to do, know where you want to know where you want to focus on. Like I said in the misconception that I mentioned earlier, I said some people think you can know everything about computer or technology. That is not true. You must have to specialize. So when you are able to specialize, go to Google and search the most recent technologies on that your area. Hope I'm able to answer that question. So the second question should be, so what was the second question again, sir?
On gaming, how they can build. A lot of them want to build these games that the whole world will be using. They are asking how can they do that.
So let me be honest with us. There is nothing you want to develop that someone has not developed. Let me be bluntly honest with all of us. There is nothing you want to develop that someone has not developed. Now, what you should do is try to create a solution. Now, if you want to develop a game and you're making inquiries from people and asking them, what do you think? What don't you like about the game you play? What are the things you've observed about the game you play? What don't you like? Now, when people start telling you the things they don't like about the game they play, pick up those things and develop on them. When you pick up those problems and develop on them, you have profiled a solution. With that avenue, people will leave the game that they are not satisfied with, and they will transfer to your own game that has everything encompassing in one. So that is what I would tell you. Go ahead and make inquiries on the challenges people are facing on the games they are playing. Pick up those challenges and develop on the challenges. It is when you develop on those challenges that people can now migrate to your own game. But try to develop a game that will be the best in the world, my dear, you cannot develop the game that is the best. Because if you think you are developing the best, someone else will develop something that will just take you off the market. So what you should do is always have the solution finding mentality. Always have that mentality. Have the mentality to profile solution. So if it's in the area of gaming, ask people, what don't you like about the game you're playing? What improvement do you want to happen in the game? When you've gotten that inquiry, just develop on it. So that would be my answer to that question.
Okay, we'll have to close the chat room because we're having a lot of questions. But somebody's asking, so do I need to have a laptop to be in tech? All right, do I need to have all those gadgets to really be in this, like you're saying? Then a parent sent a question. He said, but I think you have clarified it, saying that NUC requirement to get into physics or something of IT course in Nigeria is that you have maths, English, physics, and others. But I think what Mr. Desmond is trying to say is not talking about taking a profession. Yes, no. Just trying to say, if you want to learn tech today, you want to maybe do some particular courses to learn. You don't need to be now say, you don't know math, you can't come and learn. But if you want to go through school, maybe you want to go to a university to do an IT course or to do this, part of the requirement is that you have your maths. All right, but he's trying to say, if you want to learn, if you want to open your mind to learn, you're really struggling. There are different platforms you can learn tech other than school. So many people even learn tech. Some of them we are not really in school. Different platforms. You can, like you said, you can be reading English, you can be studying something else, and you're doing things in technology. Okay, so he's trying to say that you can learn even when you don't know maths. But for the NUC requirements, like he has said, if you want to get into school to read an IT course, depending on the country where you are, most of them require maths. But even if that is your limitation, there are still platform and opportunity for you to learn even when you don't have that. That is what he's trying to emphasize. So that you're not going to tell your parent that, I'm
I
not
don't
doing
want to
maths
learn
again,
maths
though.
again. I
I
did
don't
not say
want to
that
learn
one. No,
maths. That is not what we are saying, please. You need
no.
maths. All right. So what people asking, do I need to have gadgets? Do I need to, like someone say, how do I learn how to do websites? This graphics thing you are talking about. I don't have laptop and I want to learn all of this. How do I go about it? Let's open the chat room so that I can take more questions while he
Yeah.
answers this.
So, sir, I have. There's an amazing question I just saw here that I would want to really answer. The person asks, do we need connections in a large tech company like Google or Microsoft? My dear, you do not need any connection whatsoever. As long as you are very good at what you are doing, you develop yourself and follow the reigning technology, any of these companies can employ you. And when they employ you, they are not paying you based on your own the country you're coming from. They pay you based on the dollar rate. You understand? So you don't need any connection. What you just need to is keep developing yourself. Keep developing yourself. That's just what I would say to that. Now, to the questions about, do I need to have a laptop to start? Honestly speaking, you need a laptop. You need a laptop. Do I need a laptop to to be a graphic designer? You might not need a laptop to be a graphic designer, because we have other artificial intelligence enabled graphic platforms. We have other AI enabled platforms. Remember what I said about AI. AI is a platform that has taken the effort of man. Now, if you're using those platforms, that means you don't need critical thinking any longer. You just need to pick and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. But the truth is, it won't really make you be the tech individual that you are meant to be. Why am I saying that? Now, if someone wants to employ your services and they can just go on their phone and do what you would do for them, they will not need to contact you. There won't be need for them to contact you. So for you to be a graphic designer, I would advise that first you get a system, then get Adobe Photoshop, or no, get Adobe Illustrator. Don't get Adobe Photoshop. Get Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW if you want to go into graphics. First requirement, get a laptop. Tell daddy or mommy to please get you a laptop. After you do that, also talk to mommy and daddy to help and get someone who will mentor you so that you don't get frustrated later. After that, get Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and CorelDRAW. Those are the two softwares. Do you know why I'm skipping Adobe Photoshop? Adobe Photoshop will make you lazy. And for you to remain relevant in our society, so that AI will not take you out of the market, you need to remain relevant and make use of necessary softwares. Adobe Photoshop will enable you to do what you're supposed to do, but you might not be relevant. So for graphics, I want you to make use of Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop or CorelDRAW. Now, for those who want to go into web development, like I said, there are CRMs. CRMs are like drag and drops. They are just like artificial intelligence platforms that you can go and learn web design. But that will not make you relevant. That will not make you relevant. So like I've said to other programmers, if you want to go into website design and you want to be relevant, now for you to be a web developer, you need to be able to be a front-end developer, a back-end developer. Now, if you make use of the artificial intelligence enabled platforms, those ones will just make you lazy. It will not enable you to use your critical learning skills. Now, when I say AI enabled platforms, examples of those platforms are WordPress. WordPress is the most popular platform to build websites, but it is just a drag and drop. And I will not advise any young person here to go through using a platform of WordPress. No. If you want to remain relevant, you need to be a front end and a back end. And for you to be a front end and a back end developer, that means you are a full stack developer. Now, for you to go through that part, I want you to learn Python. Now, I know why I have been making emphasis on platform.
And some keep asking, what is Python?
Yes. Now, Python. Now, I'm so sorry. Now, Python is a programming language used for coding. Now, coding is the activity. Coding is not the same as programming. Coding is the activity using logs, strings of codes, variations, modules, functions, and all of that. That is what coding is. So Python is a programming language. Let me narrow it down. If you want to type a document, you use Microsoft. If you want to use a spreadsheet to do some analytics, you use Excel. Now, the way Microsoft is for documents, that is how Python is for programming effectively. And it is I'm trying to break it down to the minimal level so that you understand. So Python is a programming language. Now, for you to be relevant in web development, app development, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, you need to have programming knowledge. Now, you will go to so many boot camps that they will tell you that you don't need to know how to code to do so many things. They are saying the truth, but for you, I am making emphasis on you being relevant. Somebody says he wants to build something that everybody will be using in the world. That is relevance. Now, for you to remain relevant, it is important that you learn how to code. It is very, very important that you learn how to code. Please, if anybody is telling you that there are platforms that can make you build apps without coding, I know all of those fact platforms, some of the approaches. So I would please advise us to please learn programming for those who want to go into proper development. Now, let me say something briefly, and I want for everyone who wants to go into web development, please pay attention. And if it is possible, I want you to write down these things I'm going to say to you. Please, development, write down these patterns I want you to follow. Please write them down. Now, these are the patterns. If you want a developer, now start with HTML. HTML is not a programming language. It is just a platform. Because we have so many we have so many. You ask somebody, what programming language do you use? The person will say, I do HTML, I do CSS. That goes to tell you that that person that is 40 will crash. Now, learn HTML and CSS in the space of the first 40 days. Learn HTML and CSS in the space of the first 20 days. Now, from day 1 to day 20, learn HTML. From day 21 to day 40, learn CSS. Are we all following? Now, I am giving us a cheat. This is more like a cheat book that you should take advantage of. From day 1 to day 40, learn HTML and CSS. Now, from day 41 to day 70, learn the basics of JavaScript and responsive web design. Because some people who just, I want to learn web development, straight up, they started doing Java. In the space of 3 days, sir, Daddy, I'm not doing it again. Why don't you want to do? They say, sir, it's too hard. It is because you didn't follow, you didn't go through the right channels or the right path. You learn HTML and CSS. From day 41 to day 70, learn the basics of JavaScript and responsive web development. Now, from day 71 to day 150, learn advanced JavaScript and React. Now, React is the most recent Java languages, development language that enables for smooth programming and all that. So that's why I'm bringing React. React is spelled R-E-A-C-T. It's a programming language also, and the rest. Then from day 150 to day 200, learn GIT, HTML, CSS, basics of JavaScript, responsive web development, advanced JavaScript, React, and GIT. These are the platforms that you should take when trying to learn web development, so that you don't get confused. You understand? So that you don't get confused. Please, for those who wants to do web development, these patterns I have followed, please do well to follow them. And I promise you, in the space of few months, you'll be developing websites that will be getting the attention of so many people. And when you develop this website, and organizations like Google or Yahoo sees or come across them, that's when they will reach out to you. You don't even need to send anything. They'll just reach out to you. And if you are still a young person, they would even sponsor you through school and make sure you are good at what. So hope I've been able to some of this questions.
Thank you so much. You know, if I keep these boys here till tomorrow, they will keep asking questions. Keep asking questions. So I'll just take one question and then we'll close. We're supposed to close at 7:30 Nigerian time, and it's already 3 minutes to that time. All right, so many questions, but we can't take all of that. And those are saying that I don't have a computer. Even with the phone, is there nothing I can do with the phone that I have? And for the younger boys that you have a lot of boys that below 10 here, all right, whose parents are already always scared of releasing them to learn these IT things because of a lot of the issues on the internet, from pornography to all manner of things. All right, a lot of parents are afraid. Some boys are even afraid of learning. All right, what advice will you give to such people? How can they stay safe on the internet even while they learn? That is one. Secondly, somebody asking, even with my phone, is there nothing I can do? All right. Even why, and secondly, why they learn, how can they stay safe on this thing? And for these ones that are younger, is there something they can really do? Or is this thing for people that are teenagers and all of that? All right. Because a lot of the screen time, parents are not really releasing phones and laptops that more because of safety on the internet. So with the little time they have, what can they really do? How can this be beneficial to them? And even as you try to close, what is your final word to that one boy there who is saying, I didn't want to be a techie, I didn't want to be a great guy in tech, I'm afraid I'm not being allowed, is this thing possible? Some of them even feel like dropping out of school to go and do tech, all right, and all of that. Some are having bad image about tech. Some people think it's just about getting money or getting into fraud. Because some people feel like if for you to be in tech, you must be a bad guy. Fraud, stealing, defrauding people through different means. How can we dismantle those mindsets, empower people who feel they don't have so much, or people who also are afraid of the internet? Let's get your final words in that, and then we close.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Now, to when do I start tech? Trust me, everyone here, your age is the perfect age to start what we have been talking about. Now, why do I say so? You are going to be exposed on time, and in the nearest future, you will wipe us out. Those of us who are claiming principalities and powers, who feel what we know will stay forever. If you start now, you are going to take most of us out of the industry. And that is why I want all of you to start now. Now, this tech does not have anything to do with your intelligence in your schoolwork. It is very important for you to keep reading your books. It is very important for you to keep doing your assignment. It is very important for you to listen to your teachers when you are in school. But let me tell you the truth. Even with that, you can still be a tech genius. You can still be relevant in the tech world. My emphasis would be on the fact that get somebody who will educate you on the right path so that you get to understand and enjoy this tech industry. If you have a good understanding about something, people who don't have that understanding might say it is very difficult. They are saying it is difficult because they don't have understanding. You are saying physics is difficult. You are saying mathematics is difficult because you have not settled down to understand the fundamentals, the formulas behind mathematics. If you sit down and allow your teachers give you this understanding, you will be able to do mathematics. So I am likening it to tech. If you concentrate, have the right guidance, you will be able to do anything, either cybersecurity, hectical hacking, programming, coding, graphics, video, animations, and the likes. You'll be able to do it. Now, to parents who are scared, I understand your fear. The truth is, the internet currently have no restriction, especially if you don't make provisions for these restrictions on your children's devices. So that is why I would always advise that you make restrictions on your ward's devices. Restrict them from certain sites they can't have access to. For instance, a child who is 10 has no business accessing a content who is meant for someone who is 18 years old, 15 years old, and the rest. So you can do this on the DNS of your child's device. You can restrict all of this. And if you're able to do that successfully, you would have rest of mind when your children or wards are using their devices. You would have a peace of mind because you know that their activities are monitored. And when you're able to do this, it will also send you an overview of the sites that your children are visiting, the sites that your children are spending longer times on. So this is what this is just the advice I'm going to give to parents out there. So please let us get in contact with tech engineers or tech professionals who really have idea in who have idea in securing devices. Let them be able to secure your children's devices. Now, these persons don't need to be, especially if you're in US. I don't need to be in US for me to configure that on your device. I don't need to be in Lagos for me to configure that. So the tech has given us a wide range. So get tech individuals that can help you do all of this so that you restrict the involvement. Because the truth is, if you're saying you're looking for one solution to say your children will not, we just need them to be restricted using these security platforms. So that's just now to the other person who is clamoring. I don't have system, but I want to do tech. The truth is, using your phone, you will be restricted to just some areas. Now, I am saying you should get a laptop so that you have a wide access, have limitless access. But when you're using your phone, you only have access to AI-powered applications. For instance, if it's graphics, you only have access to AI-powered graphics. Those graphics is just drag and drop, drag and drop. Also for video, drag and drop, drag and drop. So that's why I am of the opinion that everyone should please try to get a system, because it will enable you, give you a wider range to cover. Now, my advice to everyone, my concluding notes to everyone. Let me
As you give your concluding notes to everyone, I also recommend what you think these young boys can learn in the next coming holiday. What areas do you think, oh, these guys can go and learn in summer about in IT? What are you recommending to parents to open them up to learning, maybe in the summer programs like that you think these are relevant areas that even a boy of 7, 8, 9, 10 can begin to learn, as you give your final word to boys and even parents listening?
Yes, please, parents, for us to go through the right foundation, I would advise that every of your word should have a knowledge of programming, a knowledge of coding. We have a whole lot of boot camps. Myself, I intend to organize a boot camp for coding for young people during the summer holidays. So I will advise every parent, it is very, very important that every child learn how to code, learn some programming language. Now, why am I saying this? I want them to be relevant in the next future, because AI is gradually taking away a whole lot of jobs from people. We have a whole lot of robots now taking the services of waiters, taking the services of cleaning, taking the services of photo manipulations and the rest. But if your watch or children has the foundation of coding or programming, they themselves can create an AI empowered software or an AI program. So that is making them relevant regardless. So my advice is every child, everyone should attend a boot camp program for coding and programming. Now, another advantage is it enables and expands their critical thinking. At this age, it will stretch them and enable them to make use of their brain cells. And this would also be of good effect in their academic work, because their critical, their thinking faculty has been enlarged. So that is what I'm going to advise every parent. please, this summer holiday, get them a coach. If it's possible, get them an IT coach, an IT mentor that will lead them, that would have conversations with them. When this IT mentor have conversations with them, he will know where to come in, what to help them, develop them, and make them relevant in our nearest future.
Absolutely. People are asking, what examples of this safety app are you talking about? Safety apps you're talking about. And also, how can people reach you? What are your social media handles? As you talk about these safety apps that parents need to have. All right.
It is. I'm going to talk about the social media platform. It is it is really very, because of the loads of things I do, I am not able to stay on a particular social media platform. So the easiest way to actually get me is actually on WhatsApp or my phone line, my contact, or an email. So those are the 3 platforms that we can actually get me for this period. For now, I am not really on I'm not really active on these platforms. So for the
You can drop your number on the WhatsApp and the chat room, and also drop it in the YouTube. So, because he's going to run boot camps for boys, code for teenagers, coding. So his number is here. You can pick it, coding, and he has a lot. He has helped so many young people also in providing security devices on their phones or gadgets for parents and families to help their boys stay on the right, place. He helps. He can really help. I think Desmond is very good in that area, and anybody that needs such help should also can reach out to him. His email and his admin, please take his email and number. Also put for those on YouTube. All right, you want your devices of children to be protected. What can you do? What advice? You can always reach him, and he can really be of great help. Yes, you want to say something before we close?
So for the parent asking for the what is it called? For the platforms to safeguard your children devices. The truth is, we have a whole lot of parental guidance software, but it is good as useless. So what we do, that's why I will always refer you to a technical person, someone who is inclined. Now, what we do is we set this security on the ISPN, that is the internet service provider. We set it from that.
But why do you say they are useless? Is that people hack them, or the boys are always be able to hack them?
Our boys are very intelligent, so they always have their way around it. So if you set, like, if you for instance, if you are using the Google parental guidance, it can safeguard your kid's device to an extent, but it doesn't cover every avenue. It doesn't cover their involvement on the social media platforms like Instagram. It doesn't cover what they should view. It doesn't cover all of that. So, but if these securities are attached from the ISPN backlog, it covers their social media platforms. It covers the sites. For instance, if you don't want your child to see anything that has to do with adult content, we just activate it in such a way anything that has to do with adult content will be entirely blocked from their system. If someone is bullying them on for instance, if they're on WhatsApp, if someone is bullying them on their WhatsApp, a notification will be sent to you. That notification will not carry the details of the chat, because of privacy and all that, but it will give you an overview of what is happening. So these are the things that's why we always advise that you get someone who is technically inclined that can really help you do all of this.
Absolutely. Thank you. Desmond, is everybody in tech a thief? Do they always look for ways to steal or to hack? or steal, because people still have those notion that every tech person just have a way of siphoning people's things from their back end people to just, is that a right notion?
No, not at all. Now, I want us to understand something. Now, hacking, there is nothing wrong with hacking. We have 3 types of hackers. Now, why am I saying this? I'm a ethical hacker. I do hacking. Now, I protect people's data, retrieve their data, and also attack hackers. Now, there is the white hacker, there is the gray hacker, and there's the black hacker. The black hacker is someone who just, his intention is just just trying to steal people's resources, get people's data, expose people's privacy and all that. That's what a black hacker is. A gray hacker is someone who does the both. He does black and he does white. But I am a white hacker. So a white hacker is someone who prevents your platform, your cloud, or whatever, your business from being hacked by these black hackers. And I also want you to know that it's not every hacker that does illegal hacking. There is legal hacking. Legal hacking is having authorization to have access to somebody's data or somebody's cloud or somebody's account. That is what recently someone who uses a MacBook lost their password to their system, and the man called me, and I was able to bypass and change the person's password. That is also called, bypassing is also called hacking. Now, was that a wrong way of hacking? No, I had consent. Now, motive is always the most important thing. Every hacker is not a thief, and every thief is not a hacker. Every tech person is not a thief, and every thief is not necessarily a tech person. It all depends on your motive. That is why getting someone who would make sure they tutor these children so that they don't have the wrong motive. When I started IT, money was not my motive. I was just inquisitive. I was just curious. I just wanted to know how to do one or two things, know how to make animations move, know how to make objects move. That was my motive, and it built and guided me all along.
Did you go to school to learn all these things, Desmond, or how did you get to know all of this? Because I've heard your story.
No. I studied. I am not trying to downgrade on Nigeria's education system. That is not what I'm trying to do. But all my 4 years of learning computer science, not one day was I taken to a computer lab. What I always do, sometimes I go to cyber cafe and I do all that. So most of the things I know today are a product of YouTube. That is why I said YouTube and Google is your best friend. Most of the things I do today is as a result of my engagement in YouTube and some other courses I did. Some other extracurricular activities I do, like playing keyboard, playing drum sets, and even sketching. All of that were learned on YouTube.
Amazing.
So that's YouTube is an amazing resource. Just get the right and
say that final word to our boys around the world, and let's close.
Now, to our boys around the world, I am really excited that we made it to this meeting. I want you to know that you can be a tech genius. Elon Musk started his adventure into tech at a very young age. So you even have more advantage than Elon Musk. You have a greater advantage than Elon Musk. So rather than spending so much of your time doing video games, watching cartoons, watching all manner of things, take those times and invest in trying to be a very good. Invest your time in coding, programming, and trying to learn more. about technology, and I promise you, in the space of 5 years, you would be a computer guru. Allow me to use that word. In the space of 5 years. Now, a computer guru is someone who can handle so many things in the tech industry. So in the space of 5 years, if you remain consistent with your passion, curiosity, humility, and the likes, in the space of 5 years, you would be a computer guru. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share to our young boys. I don't take it for granted, sir.
Thank you so much, Desmond. Everybody, let's go to the chat room and let's thank Desmond. We are grateful. Thank you, Desmond. Thank you, Desmond. Thank you, Desmond. Let's go to the chat room, guys, and let's appreciate him. Awesome time loading up for free. Desmond did not collect a kobo to come and speak to us on this platform. Let's say thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone, let's go and express how grateful we are for this. God bless you. Take you to greater height. Tomorrow we are back again at 6. And guess what? We are having Coach TJ on Usual Tuesday, one of the most famous teams coaches in Nigeria. It took us a lot to have him. Coach TJ, we can't wait to have you tomorrow. Joining us right here. He's also in Nigeria here. The most famous teams coach in Nigeria is joining us tomorrow to teach us 6 p.m. West African time. Make sure you are here. Tell your friends. If you must join the Zoom session, you must come in before 6, because in less than 5 minutes, the Zoom class will be full and you have to join on YouTube. So tell people, more people will join tomorrow. Come in early and join. It's going to be a mind-blowing session with TJ. Please, if you are not following our YouTube channel, please follow us. If you are not following our YouTube channel, please follow us. Our social media handles on Save the Boys Initiative. Please join us, follow us, Save the Boys Initiative on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Please follow us, tell others about us, tell others about this program, tell them what you learned, and let them join. 6 p.m. tomorrow is going to be another mind-blowing session. International Boys Conference is here, May 18th to 20th. This year we are hosting over 1,500 boys in physical attendance. It's going to be mind-blowing, like you've never seen before. Like you've never seen before. Like you've never seen before. All right, so make sure you are here for International Boys Conference. And International Boys Conference, May 18th to 21st. And we are going to be having here in Abuja, people are going to be connecting from all parts of the world and want you to be part of it. Okay, please join us. Tell others about us. Tell them to connect with us, and please make sure you are part of what we are doing. How was it for you today? Did you have value? Desmond, we can't thank you enough. God bless you. And everyone that joined us from UK, from US, from different parts of Nigeria, and beyond, thank you. We are grateful. Thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not started following us. And what other programs, Project Reformation, and other programs we do, as you keep following us, you get to know more about us. See, Project Reformation we had, where we reached out to over almost 10,000 boys in 15 states around across Nigeria. You can always be part of what we are doing at Save the Boys Initiative. Okay, we want to say thank you, everyone, and God bless you. Do have a wonderful night rest. See you again 6 p.m. tomorrow for another mind-blowing session. You will be blown away by the value that we'll be getting tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. All those on YouTube are saying thank you, Desmond. They are saying thank you, Desmond. Everyone is saying thank you. So I can't thank you enough. This value is just so much. God bless you and keep you all. Guys, we didn't unmute you because a lot of people want to talk. So we'll take your questions from the messages, okay? God bless you. I think we can unmute them now so that I can greet each other and say goodbye, everybody. See you 6 p.m. tomorrow. Tell your friends about to share the link. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Wonderful night. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, buddy. See you
Everybody,
tomorrow.
thank you, everybody. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye 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 bye.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
buddy.
Bye, everyone. Bye.